Hello and welcome to It's Time to Talk with Anthony and Andrew. My name's Anthony.
And I'm Andrew.
Today we have three well-selected topics. The first one we have is the Second Amendment. We'll be talking later about prostitution and medicinal marijuana. So to kick things off, we're going to talk about the Second Amendment.
All right.
Andrew, I'm going to read to you what the Second Amendment says. A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. What does that mean to you?
Well, basically to me, this is saying that it's just the American people have the right to protect themselves in any way that they see fit.
Now, if you were to put boundaries on protect themselves, where would you draw them? Like, for example, if someone is attacking you on your property.
You have the right to do anything to keep yourself safe.
Now, what if someone was just on your property and you don't want them there?
Then you can remove them, but I wouldn't say to go to the extent of bringing in arms.
Now, some people would actually bring in arms, and I believe it depends on which state you live in that they'll actually try you as, using a gun just to completely manslaughter people.
More lenient with this, but I believe that there's just a certain line that shouldn't be crossed, and many people are crossing it, which is kind of taking away from the well-deserving citizen.
All right. That seems pretty close to what I would say. Basically, what I would say is just something like there's definitely a line that can be crossed, and where that line should be drawn is obviously more vague in every state, depending on where it is. In the case that I just brought up to you, if someone's attacking you, obviously you're going to want to protect yourself, but to go off to stupid and just something's there and you want to shoot it, that's a little outrageous.
Yeah, I mean, with any situation, there's always going to be that kind of person who takes it beyond where it should be, but I think that for the most part, the Second Amendment is a right thing where you can have the chance to protect yourself.
Very good. We're going to move on to our next topic now, which is prostitution. Now, I was watching the news lately, and on CNN, there was a girl from Australia who was auctioning her virginity for cancer treatment for her mother. What are your outlooks on that?
Well, I think it's great that she's trying to help out her mother with this hard time, but I don't think that that's exactly the right way to go with this.
She also said in the video that she had worked at a supermarket, she had worked as a waitress, and nothing was good money.
Well, I mean, obviously this is a way to get great money, but it's also putting yourself in a higher risk, and you're putting yourself in a dangerous situation, and then also you are breaking the law to do this, so it's really not clean money.
Now, let's step back for a minute, and I'm going to tell you what the definition of prostitution is. The act or practice of engaging in sexual intercourse for money. Do you agree with this?
Yeah, I mean, I think basically that's a pretty good definition or the understanding of this.
Now, I'm going to throw another scenario in there. Does it have to be for money? Can it be for something else, just for far-fetched cantaloupes?
Well, I mean, yes, you could always trade in a service for this, and it would be kind of the same concept, but I mean, there's certain places that you would draw the line to say this is and this isn't.
So what you're trying to say is, like, if someone was selling themselves for cantaloupes, you wouldn't consider that prostitution?
Well, in that sense, yes. But I mean, there are ways that's, like before we started recording this, you brought up the fact of if an unemployed man is with a woman who's making a good amount of money, you were saying, would that be considered that? And I don't personally think that would be considered it, but in a sense, he is technically getting money for it.
So then where are you drawing the line of prostitution?
In my mind, the sense of a prostitute is basically just, it's a one-time thing where you pay for it and then you go on your way.
Now, it doesn't always have to be a one-time thing, because if you're bringing up the case of where someone is, say, living in their own house, and they're a stay-at-home mom or dad, and the other person is obviously going out working for money, that's not a one-time thing.
True, but I don't really consider that a case of prostitution. I consider that more just a relationship that has kind of one person at a lesser position.
All right, so I think we've covered everything about that.
Right.
We're going to move on to medicinal marijuana. What do you believe the function that it serves?
Well, the way that I see medicinal marijuana is just kind of a way to relieve stress and pain for people who are in a pretty bad situation. There's really no way to get out of this. And it's just kind of a way to ease them to get through this time.
So you were pro medicinal marijuana come the time of the election?
Yes, I believe that. I mean, if you're in a situation where there's really no cure for your disease, like if you have a certain type of cancer and just the pain is immense and there's no really getting out of it, you deserve treatment.
So now I'm just going to expand upon that. I'm going to take it out of its own boundaries there. What if, so it says in the law that you have to be prescribed it, and then you yourself have to go and pick it up, and it'll be only at certain distribution centers. Now, what if the person that actually needs it is starting to sell it?
Well, I mean, this case is happening anyway with the same thing as alcohol, is the people who are over 21 can go get it for children. I mean, there's always going to be that person who will be taking it to the step, but I think overall most people are going to use it responsibly, and it's going to be something that is going to be helping them, so I don't think they want to risk their chances.
Now, do you think that the fact that they're quote-unquote taunting the rest of the people with almost sort of making it legal, that'll become more of a problem?
I mean, I see people going after this and going after the dispensaries to get their fix, but I don't really see it getting too out of hand because there will be certain security procedures and processes to protect all this.
And to expand off that, and the previous question, do you believe that if we just legalized it, period, that it would prove less of a problem?
Well, yeah, I mean, this case happened, I believe it was in Portugal, where they legalized all drugs, and since then the activity has gone down because most people are doing this because it's kind of a way to rebel and go against it. So if you make this legal and you get rid of the thrill that they have, I think that they'll just not want to go after this.
Very good. All right. Well, thank you for watching our show today. Once again, my name's Andrew.
Your name's Andrew? Really?
Yes, my name's Andrew.
So we're gonna have to.
We'll just, we could just end at the end. We screwed up right at the end.
You made fun of me for this the other day.
We can edit the end. Okay. So thank you for watching. It's time to talk. My name's Anthony.
And I'm Andrew.
And we will see you again with more topics to discuss.